Thus, it was necessary for the copies of the heavenly things to be purified with these rites, but the heavenly things themselves with better sacrifices. The copies here on earth were purified with blood, with the animal blood, which of course was symbolic of the animals dying at the first ceremony, right? The animals that were brought sacrificially year after year, day after day, year after year, were representative of two things. Number one, they represented the animals that died in the initial ceremony that took place at Exodus chapter 24, where the covenant was brought into existence. But more importantly, number two, they looked forward to the once and for all payment of Yeshua. So we have to understand that the bringing of the animals was the Israelites saying to God, I violated my part of the contract. Therefore, God, I deserve to die. I sinned. Therefore, by bringing the animal, I'm saying to you, God, that I sinned, and even though I should die, because that's what the terms of the contract says, that if I violate my part of the contract, that I should die, just like the animals died, that first death, then God, now a second death is being brought into the picture, which is the animal sacrifices, all of the book of Leviticus, brought God this second, I'm speaking as if I'm an ancient Israelite, God, this animal sacrifice, which is a second death, right? Recall the first death was the first animals slain in Exodus chapter 24. God, these animals that are being brought, this second death, is necessary because I violated. I breached my side of the contract, and therefore, God, in your mercy and in your grace, please don't kill me. Instead, accept this animal blood as a substitute. And I, for my part, am going to basically renew the contract and say that I'll try not to sin again. And God accepted that substitute, because it pointed towards Messiah. And in essence, every time the worshiper or participant brought the animal, in the ancient Israelite days, in the days of the Tanakh, every time he brought an animal, he was renewing the covenant. It was a new covenant over and over again, all over. It was a new covenant every time he brought an animal. In essence, that's what was taking place on a smaller level. He was bringing a new covenant into existence because he had violated the terms of the covenant, and therefore it was null and void. He broke it, he breached it, and it was therefore irreparable. And the only way to bring a relationship, enter into a relationship with God, was to enter into a new covenant all over again, which was kind of what the death was signifying. It was closing out the contract, paying the debt, and therefore renewing the contract between God and the individual. You guys seeing that that's what animal sacrifices were in essence doing at a ritual level, because they were representative, they were types and shadows, therefore they weren't doing it on the heavenly level, but they were representing that contract and the terms and things like that on a ritual level, on a representative level, on a dramatic level, so to say. That's kind of what's going on. And that's why blood is important throughout all the economy of the Tanakh.